it's kind of exciting today. I got a new seat, and looking high and low, I was trying to pick something that gave me some low back support. I got all kinds of messed up disc in my back, and I just don't want to have to get a backrest. Always thought that looked kind of tacky, having a backrest hanging out of your top of your seat. So what I went with was a Lucky Dave's step-up seat, I think they call it. From my understanding, hopefully this is all focused on there. From my understanding, these are made by Saddlemen to like a Lucky Dave spec. And if you look at the Saddlemen version, it looks very flat right in here, like a shelf right in this whole area. And then it just like snaps up and goes up into the backrest. And it didn't look too comfortable to me, so I tracked this one down. And their comment of on the difference was theirs was more contoured, like it looked in the photo. It's also got a gel insert in it. There's some other videos showing the carpet on the back. It's got a couple, 4 of the rubber stoppers. So for when you're riding 2 up, hopefully it doesn't grind into your paint. Comes with a little washer here, and then you gotta flip this bracket around. But give you a cut. Look at the double diamond stitch there. And hopefully from that angle you can see how much backrest you get. So looks pretty good. There's a little bit of like white scuzz in the corners, and that might be some kind of talc they use. But assembly looks real, or the quality looks real nice. It's not too thick, so I imagine it's going to sit me a little lower on the bike. We're going to do a little comparison, get the camera in just the right spot, and then swap seats so we can see what the difference is without moving the camera. It's got a little embroidery, LD for Lucky Dave's on both sides, and then a little detail patch on the rear. So hopefully this works. We'll see how it goes, and give you my initial impressions on getting seated on it. What I'm going to lose on here is the passenger strap, which is somewhat unfortunate. My daughter uses it for riding on the back. Wife never gets on the back of my bike. She's got her on sitting there in the background. And that's basically the seat swap in its entirety. This metal bracket here is going to hook into the front of the seat, or front of the seat holder here. All right, you see it right there. Lucky Dave sent me the wrong seat. Clearly that is not made for a touring bike. So, I'll be contacting them and sending that back. Thanks for watching. Not much of a comparison so far. Holy shit, right? It fits. I called Lucky Dave's, and they said, well, it's actually super duper tight, and that's why it sticks up from the back, because the stitching and everything pull it like a taco a little bit, and that's why it's stuck up like that when I originally put it on. There was another reason that I thought it was also the wrong seat. It's because it's super narrow compared to the stock seat. It actually shows the rear frame rails on the side of the rear of the seat, and shows the frame rails a little bit more in the front. So I'm gonna get a couple shots of that and show you what I'm looking at. All right, hopefully we're focusing real well here. Now, if you look at a factory seat, it would actually come out a little bit past your side cover, and then it would swoop in and come along basically where my hand is. This frame rail would not be shown with a factory seat on, nor would the end of this chrome trim. Then it comes back, and so they said they basically took the Dyna seat and made it work on a bagger, and it's the same profile. I'm gonna swing it around, get you another angle here from the back. All right, there we go. You get a good look at that seating area. And the only downside I see in the construction is this guy's twisted a little bit. So this side is twisted up to where you get your finger in, this side's nice and tight. They basically, when I called them to talk about how I didn't think it was the right seat, said that this may occur and it'll go down over time once it sits in the sun and everything kind of relaxes and it untacos a little bit. Now, what I did with this was I got my polisher out and I polished the chrome in here, the visible fender, as well as the frame rails. So everything looks clean and sharp. I polished the frame rails up here, so it looks, they got a nice shine, it looks good. The seat itself, here's the plus part, the seat itself is super comfortable. It's not as firm as I thought it would be. If you compare it to the stock seat, it's at least twice as firm, or the stock seat is half as firm as this. The ability for this seat to absorb bumps is far superior to the stock seat. So what happens here with my low back, what was happening, the stock seat would be cut off right about here, and every bump I would hit, my back would flex in this area. And I'd constantly just have my back rounding out, and it would drive me nuts. So my back spasms right about here on the left side when I'm riding, and then it kind of goes down my glute, gives me all kinds of problems. This part here supports it, and as I'm hitting bumps, I've got like a shock absorber here for my back to push against. So that was noticeably more comfortable. The seat's obviously geared to be more of a sport-oriented seat for a bagger. That's the way they explain it on the phone. So it's narrower, it is easier to move around on. You don't have your ass getting cupped by the side of the touring seat. So, you know, flicking the bike around, it is a little bit easier to do that. I got about 25 miles in on it just now, just to go try it out. I would say it's noticeably comfortable, more comfortable. And also, if you have trouble getting your feet down because the stock seat pushes them out, this eliminates that, because now it's so narrow, you know, you're not trying to stand up to get your feet way out on the sides if you got short legs. So this is a benefit there. But be aware that it may not be the exact look that you're looking for. It doesn't look like a touring seat because you got this big open area back here exposed on your bagger. So I'll keep it, run it for 6 months, do a trip or two on it, see what I think. Wife and I have a trip coming up in May. I think it's the third week of May. So we'll give it a run and see what I think. Then I'm going to swing this around and show you my wife's bike so you can get a comparison of how much is open there on the frame rails. But you can see with the factory seat, you're coming all the way out to where the rear passenger strap hooks up. And none of the frame rails are exposed. None of that chrome end is exposed. And then you got a little bit of a bucket that you're sitting in, which kind of makes it harder to shift around on the bike. But that's that comparison there. That's it. That's what I got for my initial impression. I may update this later after I get some writing time on it more.